Hello there, fellow summoners. Mad Dog HT here, and this is day one of the new EQ with Spider Ham, and I got the last path to share of the John Mulaney Champions Challenge. This last section, chapter 2, just was one chapter, but it's got 6 lanes. You have to take them all consecutively, and the first champion is Howard the Duck, and this fight is pretty simple and straightforward. There's nothing too crazy about it. I know one of my alliance mates said that he used Black Widow Clairvoyant, and thinking about it, coming back, I probably would have taken her in as one of the options because she can heal. She can do the next fight with GwenPool. But Doctor Doom is really good for the path in general. He can do this fight. He can do it clean. And I started out with just like 42% or whatever. And I think I end with like 36% or something like that. He's a big tank. You know, pretty much the only thing you just need to be aware of is the 60 and 30% thresholds. Make sure you don't get thunderquacked. Like my first 3 battles with this guy in this path, I kept getting thunderquacked, and it was just the timing was in a weird spot. And yeah, just because you can't do, because he's got the rage node on him, you can't do a lot of damage, and so trying to like manage that push over to 60% sometimes was a little bit tricky in my case. And then I'd get thunderquacked, and thunderquack damage is, I mean, it's not like it's gonna kill you if you don't get it off right away, but it's significant. And when you had it, I mean, I literally had it like 6 times in a row, and took off a lot of health, and I really didn't get hit outside of that. So just be really aware of that. And I don't know, the nodes on these, the node where you can, like, if you parry, you can put on a random debuff. If you dex and get a buff, you can trigger other buffs. It's kind of like a buff cornucopia in a way. And yeah, I really didn't play too much around to that in this fight, really much any fight. And I probably could have maybe taken it to more of my advantage, but here, boom, we just get that parry off just in time to turn off Thunderquack. You know, if he gets the regen, it's no big deal. He can heal back up a little bit. You can nullify it. It's not that big of a deal. But you can see, like, this is a fairly long fight. I don't have any boost on, and probably I should have thrown at least like an attack boost because I just have so many of them. I just forgot about it until now when I'm thinking about this. But I don't have any boost on or anything like that. You know, if you're struggling on these paths, I would definitely throw on some boosts. They would help significantly. On this one, you know, pretty much just like health attack would help. The Mystic 8 or 12% damage on the specials could help a little bit. I don't think that's really necessary. The 150%, 200% like return Mystic boost, that wouldn't do you any good because you only gain power when he throws a special. So he goes down, it's clean, 126 hits to nothing, so that's good. We're gonna move on to the second fight, which is GwenPool. And out of the 5 fights on the path, GwenPool and Mysterio, they were just like pain in the butt, and probably because I'm like, you know what, Nick Fury, he will do just fine, and he does okay, but man, it just really gets annoying, especially like I lost my LMD, I think on the 3rd GwenPool, and here I get a connection issue. It's like, oh, come on, please load, don't crash, don't lose half health. But once I lost my LMD, then you just don't have a lot of health to play with, because it has Bane, and she's constantly gaining that combo unless you intercept her, which, you know, I do hear from time to time. And then once you get to a certain combo, you can't get parries off because of ability accuracy reductions. So you just really need to be aware of that. And this fight goes actually pretty well. Well, you're looking at like 5%. Like that Bane transfer didn't go over too well. She's not throwing her special. She finally throws it. But you can see this, like, I'm going to throw this special off. Boom. It's the power shield. Takes off a huge chunk of damage. I was trying to get an intercept in. Now I'm trying to bait out the special, or the heavy, and get a fairly clean Bane transfer. So I'm like, this is going to go well. Maybe I can do this. I'm trying to get the light bleeds on, get an intercept to turn off that combo, which really doesn't matter anymore. Looks like my salve mastery's got me back up to 6. And then right here, I'm just like, come on, throw your special, throw your special, throw your special. And she doesn't, and I die. I'm like, ugh. And I do have Human Torch on the team. I originally brought him for Mysterio. And then Mysterio is just a pain in the butt, and I'll show you how I took him down for the last one. But I have a chunk of revives that I have just from like plain farming. You get basically a revive a day with the solo objectives. At least I do. I typically have completed the revive milestone. So I have the revives. I just throw on one with a couple of health pots to get him, so I can get max health out of him. And here I'm trying to bait those specials. And then I think I try to slow down my combo just enough to where I get a clean Bane transfer. She throws the special again. I wish she would have done this last time, because if she would have thrown that special too, I probably could have finished it off. Big special too, and she's dead. So yeah, just be aware that there's going to be times where you're not going to be able to parry, and that kind of ruins some of your openings to get a clean Bane transfer. But yeah, so then this fight, Warlock, it's got the heavy-handed, it's got the crumbling armor, it's got that 10 hit chitin something armor thing where every 10 hits or whatever he gets an armor up buff, and then if you don't hit him he gets another armor up on that timer. So like this dude gets lots of armor, and I think on the last one, on the fifth section, I went in with Doom and I died, and it was like with, I don't know, 50% health or something. And I went back in with Thing, and Thing is awesome against Warlock, but there was just times where I wasn't being aggressive enough to where he just keeps getting those armors, and it was super, super hard to get damage. Like I think I ended up doing like 250 hits or something, and I ended up dying. I think I ended up reviving the whole team. That's why I have a full team revived. But like, this the armors. You can't let those armors get up. So somebody that can nullify is a better option. Doom is both armor break and shock immune, so he's really good, so you don't get power drained, because you're gonna, if you don't hit after a certain period of time, you get an armor break put on you, and then that can drain you. So Thing and Doom are really good because they're both armor break and shock immune, so you don't have to worry about the degen when you have infection on you. And I just think Doom is maybe a slightly better option just because you can nullify those armor breaks. But this is a long fight. I mean, you can see like I already got 50 hits in, and I've only done almost 20% health. So you times that by 5, this is a 250 hit fight ish. And throughout this fight, this has got oscillate. So like here, he's in the corner. I'm just being risky. I mean, most of the time when he's got the armor up phase on, he's gonna be pretty passive, and you can do that. I was doing that with Thing on the last fight, and I think that's actually how I died. I just kept on having him in the corner, and he actually came out and tap me over. And the other thing you also have to be aware of is the infection. So like with Doom, you know, you're gonna have the offensive ability accuracy reduction. And so like right here, I should have L3'd him, but it is possible that the infection could prevent the passive stun. And then I was like, oh, I was gonna wait and throw it off, but he threw off his L2 before I could throw off the L3. So just be aware of that. So like if you are counting on stealing his power with the L1, or you're gonna go into an L3, at least in my mind, it's safer to wait out to make sure that you do not have an infection on you. Because if you do have an infection on you, your power steal can fail, and then you're gonna get smacked because you got L3'd or whatnot by him. So I'm trying to keep the armors off, and then just try to hit him with some L2s, and let those incinerates do the work. Here we're about halfway through, 51%, 117 hits. So yeah, this is looking like a 250 hit fight, and this is with Doom. And Doom can put in some hurt, but with those armors, man, they minimize the damage significantly. So yeah, I'm gonna let this one play out, and I'll see you at the end and going into the next fight. All right, so we are finishing up. We're only a little over 200 hits. I'm just spamming the heavies in the corner. I didn't want to hit him over to L3. I probably could have finished him with an L2, but just trying to be extra careful with all those armors. So 214 hits. It was a clean fight. I didn't get hit. Evaded those L1s, managed the infection ability accuracy and all that stuff. Yeah, so it was good. So now we're going to go in with the Deadpool fight. Now, this Deadpool fight, I think, is the easiest fight. I used Aegon, and that's how I built up his combo. My Aegon isn't very high sig. My new 6-star rank 3, so I wasn't able to carry too much combo over every fight. And there was one fight where I had like 100 and something combo, and then I got hit like with 2% left and lost my combo, and then I hit him like, oh, that's just, what a waste. But there's really nothing special on this fight. It does have backup recovery, So just make sure that when you're getting around 50% that, you know, his power bar is on the low end, so you can manage him to not get to L3 in case he goes stingy and doesn't want to throw his special. Definitely don't want to get an L3 from this dude. And yeah, so I'm just, you know, parrying, getting my combos in, pushing him over, baiting out the specials, getting my ends that way. And I'm just redlining it. I'm just gonna hold my special 3. This does have Hurt Locker. I could have alternated like between L1 and L2 and all that, but my strategy with Aegon is I'm gonna get him down to the 15% where it's Aspect of Genesis, I think is what it's called. It's where he will start to heal, and if you're close to him, whatever he heals, you take that damage back. So basically my strategy is I'm going to get him right around to 15%, and then I'm going to launch an L3, and then I'm going to get a super, super long stun, and then I can just kind of sit back and wait out the Aspect of Genesis and not take any damage. So here it is, it got activated, and this one I just backed up, and then I hit him with the L3. So this one was a little bit different as far as how I executed it. Most of the time I would get him to 15% and then throw the L3 like this, and then just kind of wait out the Aspect of Genesis. I had room, he had thrown a special. Yeah, so it did a little bit different, but that was kind of my plan, and didn't quite have enough damage to kill him while under the stun, but not a big deal. He throws a special, throw a combo, 120 something hit fight, gonna bank like, I think I'm banking like 40% of that, so I'm gonna bank about like 50 hits. And then here we go into the Mysterio fight. I hated this fight, hated it. Died a couple times in the sections before this. I tried Human Torch. One time I applied the pre-fight and I just messed up like right at the beginning, and it just didn't go over well. So on the one before this, I used Aegon, and basically I'm just charging the heavy at the beginning, boom, and then I'm just gonna go ham on this dude for a little bit while I have those Furies, and just right there out the gate I get 27% off of him, so a quarter of him is dead. And I'm just gonna try to make sure I push him to L2, not to L1. And L2, he seems to be a little bit more passive. He does throw those stupid heavies like a freaking crazy man, so just be watching out for those. And yeah, I just feel like the fact that you can even hit him in his block and not get damage reflected back and have to worry about that. Well, there I messed up, got the heavy eaten in my face, but I go back in, tenacity shrugs it off, so I didn't take too much damage. Again, this is a rank 3 though, so that was, you know, what, probably like 20-25% on my side. And then I'm just trying to bait his heavies, push him to L2, get him with the big L2, but the bleed gets eaten up by masochism. But you know, I'm 300 plus combos, so I can get those Furies. I'm just trying to bait the L2s. You don't want. There was one fight where he just wasn't throwing the specials, and then if he gets to the 3 chemical charges, and then there's another timer that comes up, and if you don't throw the special, or if he doesn't throw the special, you start taking poison damage, which you don't want. But with Aegon, you can kind of bypass it with the tenacity, and like I soloed that dude, it was 50 hits. So yeah, pretty happy with that one. Especially that one was the hardest one, the biggest health pool, biggest attack. The regen gets crazy, so just have a good counter for that. And then we have this cool dude. He looks so cool. I like the cartoon look of him, Spider Ham, and he's got a lot going from Prey in the Week. And I didn't look at this fight. It's got Prey in the Week, Transducer, Langour, and Langour I didn't even think about. And you'll see I mess up. So Prey in the Week is bad, so I'm just gonna parry and then hit him while he's stunned. Granted, I do get the true strike, so I could have been hitting him more, but I tried to kind of back off a little bit because of the Prey on the Week. I didn't want to give him too much power with the Furies and the Tenacities that are just kind of falling off. And he's getting quite a lot of specials. But he's already 30% down, so it's going pretty well. I'm like, yes, it's going good. And I'm starting to get cornered, though. I get fatigued, so I get the gas. I do shrug it off, but you do take some damage with that. And then I forgot about Transducer, or the Langour, and I got down to 0, and it just killed me. I'm like, what happened? I'm like, and I didn't even realize what happened until after. I was like, that was weird. So I go back in with Nick Fury thinking, oh, I'll be able to get some damage off with this dude. And I took a parry and then I backed off and Langour killed me. So whatever you do, don't do that. Don't parry and back off. You got to parry and hit him, get some power, and then make sure you never drop to 0. And so here I'm like reviewing and I'm like, what the heck just happened? I didn't understand. And I'm like, oh, Langour. And so I'm okay. I'm going to go back in with Torch. I got a rank 3 Torch. I used him for the Mysterio fight a few times. I didn't really use him a lot on the path. But so here I'm just going to do parry, medium light. Going to get 2 incinerates on. He's got some debuffs on, and we're just kind of melting him, right? And I was like, this is going to be easy. And I was like, just make sure I don't get powered, back down to 0. And so I'm going, it's going okay. I do have max petrify, so while he's stunned, he gains 30% less power, which is nice, and it's very noticeable here. And I'm getting cornered again. And then here I'm just like, oh, I'll just hit him with an L3 and, get a big damage off, get no flames going before because he's not, for whatever reason, he's not throwing special. But guess what? I forgot about Langour. If you throw a special 3, guess how much power you come out with? 0. So watch this. Smash him with an anvil and then dead. 0 power equals death. Don't do that. Don't do an L3 unless you're sure that's going to kill him. So it didn't kill him, and I'm like, ugh. So I got Doom and Thing left, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go in with Thing because he won't have the class disadvantage. And I'm basically just going to apply that same tactic. Parry, 2 hits. Parry, 2 hits. Because I don't want to get fatigued with his evade. I'm not even sure how or when he gets evade, but I know he's got that evade icon, and it says Spidey Sense and all that kind of stuff, so I'll have to look into that. But Thing knocks him over. We get the win. So overall, not too bad. I think I used 3 team revives and then like a couple 20%ers. Hammering all this stuff out, which isn't too bad, and then a few health pots. So didn't have to pop any like 4-hour crystals or anything, so that was good. So these are the rewards. The rewards are nice. So we got a 6-star, a 5-star Nexus, the T5 basic, the tier 2 alpha. John Mulaney's champion challenge is knocked out day 1. We're ready, so let's open up these crystals. Now this is where I'm excited, guys. So what I get here is pretty awesome. And this is just me voiceovering the video. This isn't live, but what I get, I'm just like still super stoked about it. So I go in and I just open up one of the daily Thronebreaker crystals. It gives me 18,000 tier 4 science class catalyst. It forms one. I really like the Thronebreaker crystals. They're valuable. I don't care what anybody says. Thronebreaker is valuable. Even though that one wasn't the best opening. So we won. We get, boom, we get a Nexus and we get to Awakened Ghost. I have not played an Awakened Ghost except my 4-star. So I have a 5-star rank 4. She's awakened. I have a 6-star rank 2. It's unawakened. I'm hoping that I can potentially awaken her. I have a tier 5 tech class catalyst waiting for a juicy awakened tech champ. So Ghost, I got Ghost. And then you get a 4-star crystal, or not 4-star, a 5-star crystal. I think this is just from like chapter 1. So we're gonna open this one up and see what we can get. First off, we start this off with a Ghost on the Nexus, which is awesome. Okay, we got a Ronin. I already have him awakened. I really like Ronan. He's a really handy champ for those buffed situations. So he goes up to Sig 40. Nothing too special there. Get a little 6-star shard, so I'm happy with that. And then we open the 6-star crystal. And earlier we opened a 6-star, the Champion Challenge one, and we got a Punisher 2099, and there goes Mojo Nova. Boom! Captain Marvel movie, Sparkles. I don't have her as a 5-star. Get her as a 6-star. I am super stoked about that. She will be going to rank 2, and she's going to be competing with Corvus for my tier 5 CC Cosmic. Whenever I form it, it'll be a little bit. But oh man, I'm so excited about that. The rewards on this were awesome. And let's just look at that beauty right there. I'm so excited about this one. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you guys can knock that challenge out and get something nice in the reward opening, and I'll see you guys in the next one.